So black people can't speak the truth. Black people can't say something that they learned that they didn't know and just bring it to the forefront. I'm talking about Deshaun Jackson and what happened when everybody getting on him about saying, putting that quote about Hitler, saying that the real Jews know that black people are the children of Israel and they're extorting America because America wants world domination. But white people will be in fear if they knew that the people they've been discriminating against and hating and lynching are really God's people. And then Max Kellerman, he wants an apology not because of what Deshaun Jackson said about Hitler, but because he insinuated that black people are the real Jews. And then he went on to say this comes from people with an informal education, that he from New York and this comes from New York. So what he was really talking about, the Israelites from 125th Street, Harlem, New York, that's been preaching the truth on the streets, that black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people are the real Jews of the Bible and that Jesus Christ is black. If you're from New York, if you're from Chicago, Philadelphia, you've seen the Israelites on the streets. Well, it all originated with one group, the ISUPK, and this truth actually sprang in bits and pieces from slaves. And then it was formulated and came out to the world in 1969 through extensive research in the Bible and the scriptures and historical text. This truth was revealed to the world. And listen, when it comes to black people, we can say we're Egyptian, we can say we're Africans, we can say we're the first man, the original man, and nobody will have a problem. But the minute you say that you are the children of Israel, you are the Jews, the whole world is about to fall, right? You should ask yourself why. You should ask yourself why. Maybe it just might be the truth. So peep game, in 1967, the Egyptian prime minister stated that there would never be peace in the Middle East because the Jews left black and they came back white. There is a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu, written by Rudoplh Winsdor. And in that book, it states that in 70 AD, the Romans came and destroyed the state of Jerusalem, and the Jews fled into the interiors of West Africa, over 1 million black Jews. In a Raleigh newspaper dated March 23rd, 1853, it states that the Jews fled in 70 AD into the interiors of Africa. The Jews, meaning the Negroes, fled, and during that trek, the women died off, and they intermarried with the Hamites, meaning the native Africans, and settled in West Africa. Now, this information came out in this newspaper while black people were still slaves on plantations. There is a book written by Time Life magazine called The Nazis, where it documents Adolf Hitler and his research in finding out that the real Jews are black people. There are many sources of so-called Jewish people saying that they are not the real Jews, and in fact, black people in America that came on slave ships are the real children of Israel. So there was a Jewish man who ended up dead named Arthur Koestler. He wrote a book called The 13th Tribe. You can research it. And in his book, he basically said if his people were the Jews, then there would magically have to be a 13th tribe. See, because biblically there was only 12 tribes. So what he was saying is his people were not the real chosen people of God. Professor A.H. Godbey of Duke University in the 1930s did extensive research in West Africa and came to the understanding that black people were the real Jews, the children of God. Olaudah Equiano, he was kidnapped and sold into slavery. Later, recollecting his childhood, he realized that in his childhood, he remembered his life being like that of the Israelites, with high priests and also according to the purifications and the high holy days of the Israelites. Russian icons, where it shows you that all the people in the Bible were black. These are images of the people of the Bible before the whitewashing. And there are many things to show you that the people in the Bible were black, that the Jews were black, and the traces and the evidences point to the people that came on slave ships of being the real Jews. And there are many accounts of slaves identifying with the story of the Israelites being up under their oppressor and wanting freedom and deliverance. So yes, black people are the real Jews, and all the extensive research has been done. All black people have to do is hold on to their identity and grab onto their culture. So tag Ice Cube in this, T.I., Steven Jackson, Deshaun Jackson, Shade Room, Charlemagne the God, and let's get rocking and rolling on a discussion about this, who we really are. With that, this is Black Authentic Truth.